My name is Jason Waters, and I've lived with schizophrenia for the last 24 years. I was diagnosed at age 20 and thought that it was almost a death certificate, but this project is to show that recovery is possible, and just want to show some ways that I've learned to cope with it. I'm a skateboarder, husband, father, artist, and the biggest part of my recovery was finding support and the right medicine and being creative. When you're creative, you're expressing yourself and talking about whatever you're thinking about through your work. And when you have schizophrenia, these thoughts are not easy to face, and you're maybe biggest obstacle is learning how to talk about what you're thinking about or going through. And I've learned to do that and cope with it through my art and schizophrenia. My art and skateboarding. And a support group is very important. If you surround yourself with people that are supportive of you and kind of hold you to a certain way, to respect yourself and treat yourself good, then that can only lead to positive things. There can be slips back and relapses, which I've experienced that myself. After time goes by, the kind of settling effect happens, and you can start to really live a fairly normal life. And that's what I've done. It's kind of an unlikely success story, and now I have a book, Unbalanced, A Life of Schizophrenia and Skateboarding, that I'm about to put out. I'm going to put this out myself because skateboarding is such a niche market, even though it's a very diverse demographic of people. And skateboarders are, a wide-ranging type of person. There's the whole spectrum. So I think this could possibly inspire people with this illness or without it, or maybe shed some light on something that is not always talked about, surviving schizophrenia. I was quiet about it a lot because I was afraid the stigma would affect how people work with me or just associate with me. And since I began to speak out about it, I've found positive responses. A lot of people know someone or have a family member or maybe feeling a little ill themselves. So if I can, if I can speed up someone's recovery through my experience, that's really what I want to do. Thank you to Aaron Felger for deciding to do this project, and got a shout out to Joey and Zach and my wife, Jenny. Hope you find this interesting. I hope you find this interesting. Thank you. That you can edit, Jenny, so they can make this look a lot better than we are. Yeah. Oh. You're probably like, dang, Jason's not all that good. He's got his own ping pong. You want to switch? Switch sides?
Sure. I have a ball in my pocket.
I got two.
I feel like we met at a cookout with some mutual friends first, because my friend Jeremy worked with Jason, and there were a bunch of skateboarders and artists that worked at Contagious, and there was a cookout, and I feel like I met him there, but I for real actually had a conversation with him because my friend Jeremy had a birthday party at a taco place off South Boulevard, and I think Jason went outside to smoke, and I went outside, I don't know, maybe just to get some fresh air, and I had my camera with me, which is the Holga, and he started asking me questions about it, and I found out that he liked photography too, so we just started having a conversation about art and being creative, and that led to like a friendship, and then like best friends, and then we started dating.
So, yeah, I mean, you found out that Jason has schizophrenia. Tell me more about how you found out.
Yeah, it wasn't like a big deal or anything. And it wasn't like he was coming out of the closet like, hey, I've got this secret to tell you. It was just like any kind of conversation that me and Jason had was like pretty natural, and it just flowed. It wasn't like an interrogation or anything. So I think he just told me just in a conversation that had to do with something similar, and it wasn't like a big deal or anything. And I don't know.
So more specifically, did you notice anything about?
No, like I didn't think anything was different because I'm also weird, and like all my friends are weird. So I think I'm more uncomfortable around people that are like normal, I guess. So it wasn't anything different. Little things would bother him, like going to Target. Like I thought he was being selfish because he would go in and like want to leave immediately, and I'm like, but I need to get all this stuff. Like I do all the things that you want to do, but really, like in his head, he's like, I got to get out of here because it's like too much stimulation. There's like kids crying over here. There's like too much like stuff on the walls, and like Jenny wants to look at every single aisle. So like I've realized over time that it's not like him being selfish and not wanting to go shopping with me. It's just like he can't handle like certain situations, which I totally understand. And that's just from like being with him over the years. You like pick up on things like triggers or like things that would bother him more so than like other people, or things that he just, yeah. It seems like lately, since he's been working on this book and he's like bringing it up to people, someone is always saying like, oh, I have bipolar, or oh, my sister has a mental illness, or oh, I have anxiety. Like it's more of like a support, or like, oh, me too kind of thing, like, you know, understanding. I haven't had anybody like, you know, or like weirded out about it or like scared. At least none of my close friends, because they're all, you know, pretty understanding, and they've got stuff that they're, you know, they struggle with too. So I know sometimes like we'll be out at a bar or somewhere, and there'll be someone that's not necessarily our friend, but maybe like someone in our friend group, and they'll say something kind of insensitive. Like I remember we were at Snug and somebody said, oh, that person's being schizo or whatever. And I think that kind of, you know, obviously you're like, it makes you feel something, but I mean, people that are into the arts or into, you know, this stuff that like our subculture, they're, you know, they're more understanding and like open-minded about stuff like this because they're probably going through something too. It's also like reminding me that like he has gone through something like intense, and like I've never really had like a traumatic thing happen to me. I've never had anything bad. I've never had to go through what he's gone through, and sometimes I catch myself like complaining about stupid shit, and he never complains about anything. And like it's really inspiring to know what he's gone through and like where he is now, and like I don't know, it's just, I don't know, he always pushes me to be a better person.
Okay. Start with this one. The first board I did, it was started off in acrylic painting, and then became a finished product for the local shop, Black Sheep. The first board I did, I think it was about 2009. That's the one I was really proud of when it came out. I've done 3. This was the second one. It was a hula girl that I just liked the imagery. I skated that one a few times. And I think that was about 2012.
Is that also acrylic?
It started out on acrylic painting, and then that was done with a heat press, but I'm not sure where the original is.
Did you guys get a good shot of the board?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then this one is the third one. This one's the most recent, and it's still not skated. And it came out late last year, 2017, and I did a video along with it called Birds of a Feather. Birds and the sea kind of reoccur in my imagery because my last name being Waters, and I like the water, sea legs, waters, you know, it kind of just happened.
So where'd you shoot that?
That was at a beach in Florida. I was sitting on the beach, see a bird flying over, and I grabbed this camera and just point it and shoot it, and that's what I got. Cool lens flare and everything. And I like the pink, so I mixed the image, the text. I made it pink too. So that's my 3 boards. I actually made graphics, but this was a Black Sheep collaboration with the Alien Workshop, and I think it was 2012. I rode front tail kickflip April 2012. This was the first time I did that, and I took the board apart right after I landed it, like the next day. So that's pretty much all that board was used for, tail slides. And I did that trick like 3 times, and the stoke is still there. It's kind of stayed with me forever. But this was a board I painted 2008, self-portrait with blue hair, which I took liberties with my hair there. But I was really stoked on something, I guess, and since you were my first high, which is kind of about realizing I was better off without drugs. I tried drugs, and I was a lot better off skateboarding, so this is kind of to illustrate that. And this one I feel like this is one of my best little paintings. It's small, but this was kind of like a Krylon paint can. They had the Spectrum or whatever, and this guy, I really liked how it turned out, but it never got on a board. It was kind of it was like a magnet that I saw, and instead of a jump rope I made a skateboard. And then later I had a job at a screen print shop, and I was able to make these. So pretty cool. I think that turned out really well. A big move for me. I was skating a lot at this time and starting to really focus on like progression, I guess. I was about 20 years old when I did this, and that would have been about 1995. And later on, I was using a bathroom at a party, and I saw a zine, and this was on the cover. And I never even saw the photo, and it freaked me out. I'm like, wait a second, y'all didn't even tell me? Like, I never even got to see the photo. But yeah, I made a really good skate trick there. I don't know what to say, but like it was really dark, and the flash went off, and my pupils contracted and dilated, and I landed it in pitch black, almost blind from the flash. Like I could not see, and I rolled away somehow. Brian Tucker shot that, who shot a lot of my skate photos.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's great.
So we're claiming we were old 10 years ago.
Was it February 1999 you quit drugging?
Yeah, I've been sober that long, 20 years.
20 years. Which 10 years went by quicker? The first 10 or the last 10?
This last 10. Yeah. Fed up with it. Like I was able to like keep up more. Like I felt like I was being left behind a lot earlier, but now I feel like I'm on time more, you know, like up to speed all the time.
Stability for sure.
Yeah, like that Wally only took like 5 tries versus, you know, back in the day it might have been 20 tries. I'm not bragging, I'm just saying it. I've gotten more consistent in my old age.
More consistent at skateboarding.
Like a
Yeah.
fine cheddar.
Yeah, I've refined, aged, sharp cheddar. And I say weird stuff all the time too. All the time. Just kidding. I don't. Usually I'm very serious.
You're very serious all the time.
I'm so serious. Seriously, I'm serious. I almost ollied that one day. It was like